All right, we are live. Jeremy Miner, this is Tuesday. I'm coming live to you early in the morning, which I typically do not do. Usually on Tuesdays, we go live, and next week, the schedule will go back to normal. Every Tuesday, we go live, typically at 4 p.m. Eastern, and I usually do like a 15-minute to maybe a 30-minute training on various subjects. Today, we're going live early in the morning because we have movers here at the house, this is my home office here, that are like, everything's out of this house. Like this right here that you see is the last thing that's left. They've already took off this mounted TV that was back here. So it's pretty crazy. This whole house is like packed up and they're like loading it into like a huge United Van Lines 18-wheeler to move us out to our home in Scottsdale, Arizona. So next week, the schedule should go back to normal. This is going to be one of the last times that I go live in the group here from this office. I will go live tomorrow, and I'm going to tell you what I'm going to cover and what we're going to go over. But tomorrow will be the last day that I ever go live from this office. So kind of surreal for me. 7th Level was started here in this office by myself a little bit over 3 years ago. So it's been a crazy ride. So welcome to the live. So today we're going to go over one of the biggest objections that I know all of you get. It doesn't matter if you sell B2C, if you sell B2B, I know that you're going to get this objection, and it's the objection of, I want to think it over. What do you do when you get the objection, I want to think it over, okay? First of all, we have to understand why the prospect is even giving us that objection in the first place, and then I'm going to show you some questions that you can ask them to really find out what their real concern is and be able to help them overcome that concern. Okay, now, if you are brand new to our Facebook group and you're like, who the hell is this guy coming live? My name is Jeremy Miner. I'm the founder and chairman of 7th Level. We're an organization, we're a company that helps sales professionals exactly like you watching me right now. So we help sales professionals, we help coaches, we help sales executives and managers and business owners, and we help you and your teams transform the way you sell by learning specific skilled questions and techniques that work with human behavior rather than work against it. There is a massive difference in your results if you understand what that means. These are known as neuro-emotional persuasion questions. We teach you the right tonality that puts your prospects at ease, eliminates sales pressure, and gets your prospects to want to engage with you, to want to open up with you, and actually persuade themselves, okay? Now, if you want to know more details about how we can help you sell a lot more of your products and services than you are right now, like we have for thousands of our clients in the last 2.5, 3 years, then in the comments section, post hashtag NEPQ. So post hashtag NEPQ in the comments section. Either myself, our Vice President Marco, or our CEO Matt will message you more details to see if we can help you as well. Now, if you're on live right now, I want you to go down to your phone if you're on the live right now, and I want you to post in the comment section, post hashtag live. So I want each of you to go and do that right now. Go post hashtag live. I'm not starting the training until you do. So go down to the comment section, post hashtag live. And if you're on the replay, I'm going to have you post hashtag replay. So I'm not starting the training until you do. I'm going to blackmail you. Andrew just got into 3.0 training yesterday, and it was deadly so far. Well, you're just barely learning, my friend. Wait till you go through all 23 hours of that. That's awesome. All right. So in the comment section, hashtag live. If you're on the live right now, go post it. If you're on the replay, go post hashtag replay right now. I'm not training you until you do. Now, do you guys see that little heart button and that little like button on your phone? Go down to the bottom of that, and I want you to pound that like button several times. And I'm going to have each of you pound the heart button several times. So go down to your phone, pound the heart button, pound the like button several times. I am not going to train you on how to overcome the I want to think it over objection until I see hundreds of those. So I'm just waiting on you. Go pound the heart button, pound the like button several times, okay? The reason why we have you do that is it creates more engagement in the group, and more people in this group are able to see this training. We have over 10,000 people in this group, and we started this group 8 months ago. It's growing rapidly, okay? So make sure that you pound the heart button, pound the like button. It's going to get more people to be able to see this live, and you are doing your part to help them get better training as well. Okay, now let's talk about this for the next 10, 15 minutes. So when the prospect says to you, and it doesn't matter what industry you're in, what product or service you sell, whether it's B2B, B2C. I know pretty much everybody has had this objection. A lot of you get it way more than you should. You just don't know how to prevent the objection. You haven't learned the right questions to ask in the conversation to prevent this from even happening in their mind, okay? There's a key to that. Now, that's not what we're going to train on today. We're just going to train you on, if they say it, what do you do, okay? Now, here's something I want you to realize. You have to understand why your prospect is even saying this. If you don't understand why it's happening, it's hard for you to be able to know how to fix it, okay? So when your prospects say, this sounds good, Omar, but I just need to think it over. Now, it looks like some people are here on our we've got about 40 people here in the live on the Facebook group and about 6 or 7 here on YouTube Live. If you're on YouTube Live and you're wanting to get into our Facebook group so you can get a lot more training like this, I'm going to have Chris on our team post the Sales Revolution Facebook group for people like Omar and other people. Just click on that link. You can join for free. There's like a 2 or 3 question survey so we know what products you sell, what industry you're in, helps us train you better. And then right when you do that, we will tag you, whoever is here on YouTube, Jacob Smith's on YouTube, Digital Omash, how to do cold prospecting to DMs. What we'll do is we'll tag you once you join the Facebook group, and we're going to send you over a free 35-minute training on how to prevent objections from happening in your prospect's mind. So look in your DMs for that training, okay? So I'm going to have Chris, if you'll post that Facebook group join link here, I'd appreciate it. Omar's already in the group. Jacob Smith, maybe some of the other Facebook or YouTube guys are not. Okay. Now, so when your prospect says, I want to think it over, most of the time, this is triggered because you still have not learned the right questions to ask at the right time in that conversation to help them see clearly what their problems are, to help them see clearly the root cause of the problem, and to see clearly what the problem is actually doing to them. You just haven't learned the right questions yet, and that's triggering them to say, I want to think it over, because they're unsure, okay? Remember, you can't tell them their problems. You can't just tell them their problems or their situation. You have to ask the right questions, the right NEPQ questions that allow them to tell themselves that. And when they tell themselves that, they start to persuade themselves. That creates urgency for them to want to do something about changing their situation and purchasing your solution, not weeks or months down the road, but now. Okay, even if you sell B2B, we have companies, huge companies, mid-cap companies, even Fortune 500, Fortune 100 company we train, okay? Biggest search engine in the world. I'll let you guess who that is, okay? One of our clients. Some of their sales cycles were 6 to 9 months. Once they learn NEPQ, we can literally cut that by 50 to 70%. So a 7-month cycle becomes now a 2 to 3 month cycle, okay? When you speed up your sales cycle in B2B, you make so many more sales, just way more profitability. Okay, now, all right, so here's the second reason. Okay, so that's the first reason. You haven't created enough urgency because you don't know the right questions to ask, okay? When you don't understand the right questions to ask, when you don't have urgency, okay, they do not feel that their problem is that bad. So here's their current situation. Here's where they want to be. What's the gap in between? It's all of these problems that you've helped them see that they had. The bigger the gap from your questioning ability, the more urgency they feel to do something about solving it. Now, the smaller the gap, because you don't know what questions to ask, you ask just a few consultative questions and then you go into your pitch. The smaller the gap means they don't feel like that problem is that bad. And now your price seems pretty expensive compared to the problem. And that's why they don't do anything. That's why they say, I want to think it over, okay? Because you couldn't help them see because your questioning was off, and it causes them to feel that the problem might not be that bad after all, or maybe what you told them, they don't feel like you can actually get them that result. There has to be a massive gap in their mind of where they are, current situation, compared to where they want to be. We call that their objective state. And what's holding them back from getting what they want? All of these problems that your discovery call or discovery meeting has helped them see that they had, that they didn't know they had when they first started talking to you, okay? That's the larger the gap, the more urgency it is for them to buy now, not later. So let me give you an example of what to do when this happens. And I want you to write this down. Okay, this is very important that you write this down. Prospect says something like this. You know, Bell, this sounds good, but yeah, I need some time to really think it over in my mind. Here's exactly what you say. Now, what do most salespeople say? Oh, well, but you said, I mean, I'm confused. You said that this was important for you to do something. And then now that triggers is more resistance, more objections, and you're going to lose the deal most of the time. Okay. So salesperson says something like, you're going to say this. Yeah, that's not a problem. I guess what's your time frame on getting back to me in the next day or two just to see if I'd be available for you? So you're going to say this. Yeah, that's not a problem. You're going to diffuse that situation. Yeah, that's not a problem. I guess what's your time frame on getting back to me in the next day or two just to see if I'd be available for you? Now, why do you say just to see if I'd be available for you? Once again, it positions you as busy. You're with other clients. You don't need the sale. You don't need to help them if they don't want your help. Now, here's my question. Why wouldn't I just try to resolve that concern right then and there? Okay? Because if I did, they would put up a wall. See, I want to diffuse that wall. I want to make sure there's no wall up there. So I just agree with them in the beginning. Yeah, that's not a problem. What's your time frame on getting back to me in the next day or two just to see if I'd be available for you? See, every part of the sales process, it's all about disarming the prospect continually throughout the process so they stay open to you, okay? Now, after you say that, the prospect typically is going to say something like this. Well, yeah, I mean, I can just call you back later this week. Okay. You can't take that at face value because they're not going to call you at the end of the week. They're not going to call you in 2 or 3 days if you're just waiting around. You have to have a specific scheduled time. So then I'm going to show you what to do to schedule that. And then I'm going to show you how to resolve the concern or find out what their real concern is. Okay. So let me repeat this. I'm going to show you this again. Okay. Prospect says, that sounds good, but I just really need to think it over. Yeah, that's not a problem, Joan. I guess what's your time frame on getting back to me in the next day or two just to see if I'd be available for you? Positions you as you're busy, you're an expert, you've got tons of clients, you don't need them. The prospect says, well, I guess I could call you back in a few days. No, you need to schedule time. So you say this. Well, yeah, I'm not sure I could be randomly available like that. What I can do if you have your calendar handy, I can pull up mine and have you book a specific time with me. That way you don't have to chase me down and vice versa. Would that be appropriate? So let me repeat myself. Well, I guess I could call you back later this week. Well, yeah, I'm not sure I would, randomly be available like that with my schedule. What I can do if it helps you though, Amy, is if you have your calendar handy, I can pull up mine and have you book a specific time with me. That way you don't have to chase me down and vice versa. Would that be appropriate? Now, what do you think they're going to do? Of course, they're going to book a specific time. Now, here's your advantage. You have a specific time. Okay, so you already have that in place. Now, we're going to go in and help them resolve this concern, try to close a sale here. And worst case scenario, the 10% of the time we can't, we have a scheduled call. Okay, now, then you're going to say, after you book that time, you're going to say this. As you're leaving, like let's say you're on Zoom, it's like, I'm about to get off Zoom, or let's say you're in the house, I'm about to leave, or let's say if you're in the boardroom meeting, I'm about to leave, or let's say if you're on the doors, I'm about to leave, or if you're in front of a business door, I'm about to leave. If you're on the phone, you're about to leave. That's the feeling that you're giving them, okay? Then you're going to say this. Now, before I go, I guess what were you wanting to go over in your mind, just so I know what questions you have when we talk tomorrow? Let me repeat that. Now, before I go, what were you wanting to, I guess, go over in your mind, just so I know what questions you'll have when we talk tomorrow? Now, why would I say this? Now, before I go, what were you wanting to go over in your mind, just so I know what questions you have when we talk tomorrow? That is a much better way of saying, what do you want to think about? Okay, because if you say, well, what do you want to think over? They're just going to get defensive. But if I say, yeah, that's not a problem, I do all that, and then I say, now before I go, because I'm disarming them, like I'm leaving. Now, before I go, what were you wanting to go over in your mind, just so I know what questions you might have when we talk tomorrow? And this is the key. This is where they're going to say, well, I'm really concerned about this. Or, well, I really need to think about this. And they're going to tell you what their real concern is. Okay. And then what you're going to do is you're going to clarify that concern. You're going to ask a diffusing question. You're going to discuss it. And then you're going to like discuss it like two people who are working on solving the problem together. And then you're going to ask several diffusing questions to get them to overcome that concern. Remember, take this to the bank. If you want to make hundreds of thousands of dollars a year or more as a sales professional, or even 7 figures as a W-2 or 1099 sales professional, take this to the bank. Selling is not combative. It's not adversarial. It's not you against them trying to win them over to make money for you. Selling, if you want to be the very top and an industry leader, is collaborative. It's you working with them to help them find and solve problems that they might not have even known they had. Okay. Now, here is the key. 8 or 9 out of 10 times, you can find out the real concern here, help them overcome it, and get the sale at this point without even having to do a next call. Now, if you're in more of a B2B complex selling environment, obviously it has to go through legal. There might be another meeting with the board, might be a little bit longer, but at least they're on the right path. And worst case scenario, for the 10 or 15 or 20% that you can help them overcome that concern, worst case scenario, you have a scheduled call with them the next day or 2 from that point to help them work on that as well. Okay, I hope this helped you today. We only went about 16 minutes with that. I hope that helped you. Make sure you write that down. Now, if you want to know, like I said, if you want to know more details about how you can sell a lot more of your products and services, hell, we have almost 4,000 testimonials at this point. It's 3,970 something. We'll have 4,000 testimonials in 2 days, okay? So if you want to be like those people and make hundreds of thousands of dollars a year when they were making a third of that 6 months ago or a year ago or 2 years ago, then in the comments section, just post hashtag NEPQ, and either me or our CEO, Matt Ryder, or our VP, Marco, will message you more details to see if we can help you, okay? This will be one of the last lives I do. The moving company is here. They are moving this office, the house, everything right here. This very office right here was where 7th Level was born 3 years ago. They've already taken off the wall mount here and everything. All the trophies, the plaques, like it's all gone. It's just this right here, and they're about to rip it out here right after I get out of this live. So tomorrow I am going to go live from here. This will be bare. There won't be anything here. But tomorrow we are going to go live at 3 p.m. Eastern, and I'm going to break down a sales process from one of our clients who a year and a half ago, like 2 years ago before he started in this training, was making about $4,000 a month in commissions. Do you know what he's making now? About $25,000 to $28,000 a month consistently. So he went from about 50 grand a year now to about 315, 325,000 a year, selling the exact same thing he was before. How is that even possible? So we're going to break down a sales process from connecting questions all the way to commitment questions. We're going to show you what to do. Tune in tomorrow, 3 p.m. Eastern. Make sure you set your notifications on your phone. If you do not set your notifications on your phone, Facebook more than likely is not going to let you know when we're going live. There's over 10,000 people in this group. If you don't have your notifications on, you got about a 5 to 10% chance that Facebook algorithm will even show you the live. Okay, so go into your settings and set Sales Revolution every time we go live during the week that you're going to get notified and you can pop in for training. All right, Jacob, congrats on the move. Yes, we're moving out to Scottsdale, Arizona. We're opening up a huge office for our USA location for 7th Level. We already have our corporate international headquarters in Sydney, Australia. That's where our CEO is at, our vice president, our COO, CFO, a lot of our internal team. Then we have a big team over in London as well. About to start a team in Dubai and open office there. It's going to be pretty cool. But for USA operations, we will be opening that office November 1st in Scottsdale, Arizona. So for the next 30 days, I'll be going live from our house out there. We have an office in there. So all good. All right. See everybody tomorrow, 3 p.m. Eastern. Don't be late. Set your notifications on the phone. I hope that helped you. Take care. Appreciate all of you.